We're going to walk out of this stadium tonight with our heads held high.
That is amazing. Wow, what a game.
Oh, my.
Unbelievable. One more for the record books.
Nothing's gonna stop us.
At the buzzer, knocks it down.
Pick is up. Yes. He made it. Yes. Reverse layup is good with 5 seconds left.
Put 6 on my stat. First title in program history.
Being an in-state kid, everything that I wanted in the school was right at home.
Every coach has a toolbox, and every tool is from another coach.
Camaraderie, be able to hang out with each other and be together.
Takes it all the way for the touchdown.
Led by a future Badger.
I'm very excited for this kid because he is brilliant.
What an absolute javelin toss.
He's going to throw a jump pass and complete it for the 2-point conversion to Hawk.
I mean, we can see a lot of offense.
Put the exclamation point on it.
At the buzzer. Wow. It's good. Oh, my goodness.
Do your best.
Thank you so much for all you guys do for high school sports.
Guys, I got goosebumps.
That's all anybody can ask for.
The biggest games, the most compelling stories, the area's best high school sports coverage. This is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Tonight it's win or go home with a regional championship on the line at Brookfield East High School as the 6th seed La Follette Lancers bring one of the most dynamic players in the state into a hostile environment. Nyajuacni Riak, 38 points, 17 boards, and 6 assists last night. A generational talent who changes the game on both ends of the floor. But Brookfield East is built for this moment. 19 wins and a senior leader in Maya Kovacic who can take over late. The winner moves on to face either Wanakee or Madison Memorial in the sectional semifinal. The loser, their season is over. It's a regional championship on the line tonight on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania. And Zimbrick Honda's been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973. They're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether you're looking for a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none. Browse their car selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda. I'm Hunter Vaughn. Alongside me is Adam Mertz as we gave the night off for the Dean. Adam, real quick here as we've got just a couple of seconds before the national anthem. 3 keys here for this big regional championship game for these two teams.
You know, this is a huge moment for a La Follette team that has not made it to the sectionals since 2013, Hunter. So this is their time to shine. Got a couple of really talented sophomore posts that you're going to want to see how they match up against this Brookfield East team. Got a size advantage. Do not have that experience and program advantage, but let's see if La Follette can pull it together tonight.
It's going to be a great game tonight as the La Follette Lancers travel over to Brookfield to take on the Brookfield East Spartans. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and dive more into this game as the Lancers visit the Spartans here on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
At Hooper Service, your comfort is important. From keeping you cozy warm to comfy cool with the ultra-quiet, energy-efficient Carrier Infinity Home Comfort System. Plus, join our Home Comfort Priority Plan and keep your air conditioner and furnace running at peak performance year after year. Enjoy priority service and extra savings that really add up. Hooper is here with 24-hour heating, cooling, plumbing, and fire protection service for your home and business. Turn to the experts, Carrier and Hooper.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
Brookfield East High School as we get ready for the opening tip-off between the La Follette Lancers and the Brookfield East Spartans. The starting lineups, first for the home team, the Brookfield East Spartans. It's going to be number 3, Maya Kovacic, number 10, Mariah Cleaner, number 21, Avery Manti, number 23, Josie Pierakowski, and then number 24, Adeline Shane. For your La Follette Lancers, it will be number 1, Nyajuacni Riak, number 12, Josie Goodnature, number 22, Madeline Jenkins, 23, Alex Quanbeck, and 31, Gisela Fields. Mertzy, for this game we talked about in the open here a little bit, the La Follette Lancers. For this Brookfield squad, this is a program that they've been to state multiple times. They're used to deep runs in the postseason, and they've got one of the best seniors in the entire state playing tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're talking about Maya Kovacic. This is someone who's your leading all-time scorer in school history, the number 2 in assists, top 10 in rebounds. Someone's an all-around player in a program that has been to state twice in the last few years, 22 runner-up, 23 as a qualifier. So they've got that tradition in history. You like what they've done, too, here. They've lost 2 games since January 6th, both to highly ranked teams, top 10 teams in the state. So this is a battle-tested program you're facing tonight.
The La Follette Lancers in their road maroon uniforms with the silver stripe on the side. Meanwhile, the Spartans in their home white with the red numbers and the gray stripe on the side. The regional final is underway with La Follette winning the opening tip. Fields will run the point, trying to figure out this zone defense Brookfield loves to run. Riak underneath, and she draws an early foul.
That's exactly the kind of start here. A really disciplined possession by La Follette, looking for the opening, getting a ball inside to Riak and do some damage right at the line right away here, Hunter.
The foul on Maria Pleener. The first one doesn't fall for Riak. But if last night was any indication, Mertzy, we're going to see her at the free throw line a ton.
There it is.
And the second one is good. Our first point of the night goes to the Lancers.
A little pressure here early up court from La Follette in that 1-2-2 zone.
Yeah, La Follette really likes to pressure. The 3 ball from Kovacic. She gets her own board. The mid-range J rattles home.
Smart play by Kovacic there, following her own miss.
A little bit of pressure here from the Spartans, too, now on their second time trying to defend the Lancers. Follette working the perimeter, being patient. From deep, too high off of the glass, board for the Spartans. Fields a little bit of pressure as Spartans get it down underneath and lay that in. Early 3-point lead. The mid-range jumper doesn't fall. 4-1. Spartans up with 16:20 to go in the first half.
Seen some good patience here by Brookfield East, Hunter.
Yeah, when I spoke to their head coach, Tyler Saxton, this morning, that was one of the things they like to take their time as they knock down a three. Hirakowski hitting that one. So 3 possessions and 3 scores for the Spartans. Riak controls. Hard pass inside, but too hard to get to her teammate, Jenkins, underneath.
Man, that was a pass.
Yeah.
That was so good. That's one of those that's so good your teammate can't even see it coming. She had the play. She read the play right.
Riak can't get the interception. Cleaner, wide open underneath. 9-1 run. Then a travel. Things not going well early on for the Lancers.
No, you're seeing a team that doesn't look comfortable out there at this point. A lot of early shots.
Spartans get it inside, kick back out. Cleaner inside the left hand. 6 of the 11 points for Maria Cleaner. Riak attacking inside, adjusting. And that one rattles home. You know, Mertzi, last night that was something we saw in that Kettle Marine game when the Lancers went down. All of a sudden, Riak just said, you know what? I've got to take over and just kind of almost play like Giannis does for the Bucks.
Yeah, that was a smart play to take the ball into her hands at that point. Their team needed a spark.
Kovacic got the rebound. An extra possession for the Spartans.
You know, it's interesting how far from the basket that Riak's been in a lot of these defensive possessions. Brookfield East doing a really good job mixing things up offensively.
And there's a 3 for Hirakowski. An 11-point lead and a steal for the Spartans. Another 3 goes up. That one, no. But underneath, rebound for the Lancers, and then we'll have a foul underneath on the Spartans.
Well, you're seeing such good disciplined team ball by Brookfield East right now at this point. They're working the ball around. They're getting great shots, and they're feeling really confident.
And I know she'll end up getting her own when it comes to points, but Maya Kovacic, only 2 points with an 11-point lead. I would have thought if you said, okay, Brookfield East is going to get out to an 11-point lead early in this game, she probably has like 9 or 10 of those.
Right.
And she doesn't so far.
I have her down for 3 assists at this point, though. You're seeing a lot of these buckets by Brookfield East set up really nicely by teammates. Oh.
And there's travel by Riak.
There's going to be an adjustment period there for her, too, under the basket. They're throwing a lot at her. She's going to have to just concentrate on taking what is there for her.
Brookfield taking their time again. Kovacic, turnaround. Doesn't fall. Riak snatches it out of the air. She's going to go coast to coast. Passes it off. Jenkins off the window. La Follette able to end the scoring drought inside 13 minutes to go, down by 9, 14-5. The way the Spartans eat up clock, it's almost like watching the old Bo Ryan Badgers. especially when you don't have a shot clock that you have to worry about. Oof. Deep three is short. Riak's going to send up a deep one. And the thing is, that was too strong on that deep three. And I've seen her hit those.
From
so
what,
she's
25, 26? Yeah. She did turn to the bench right away and was like, my bad on that one. That's a little aggressive.
The thing is, when you can make that shot, I don't blame her for doing it, especially when everyone expects her to attack and get into the paint. Like,
yes.
It's kind of like, again, like Giannis, you got to hit a three once, maybe twice in a game.
Otherwise, they're not going to respect it.
Yep. Kovacic through the traffic. No, Riak the board. Lancers on the run, off the window, no. Fields turning around.
Now stay here. Nice aggressive follows by the Lancers underneath.
And that's really where I think La Follette's at their best, it feels like, when they're able to just go and run off of a missed shot.
Yeah. It was interesting. They felt that they were almost sped up early.
And then Jenkins, another one. She's got 4 of the 7, down to a 7-point lead for Brookfield.
Back in business.
Mm-hmm. Just needed to settle into a road environment, a school they've never played in.
Hey, this is tough. This is big time here. This is a nice field house. Disciplined team, experienced team.
Open from deep, and that rattles home.
Wow.
Birakowski up to 9 of the 17, back to a 10-point lead.
Oh boy.
Oof, nearly stolen away. Jenkins underneath. Madeline Jenkins doing work, 6 of the 9 for the Lancers.
Yeah, that was a great ball movement there too after the dicey pass.
Brookfield East, again, taking their time. They're going to work to get the best shot, and Riak called for a reach-in.
There's a little bump there. Got the ball clean, a little bump. I like the effort, though. I like the thought. That was there. It was there for the taking.
And last night in the regional semifinal, if you didn't tune in for that, Riak with 38 points, 17 boards, 6 assists. She had 3 fouls in the first half and had to sit for the last 3 minutes of that half. Ended the night with just 4 fouls. So Dennis and I were talking in that game, and we weren't sure if it was the officials adjusted to her play or if she adjusted to the officials.
The other way.
Because she was still playing physically the entire time.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting, sometimes there's that balance to the equilibrium that both sides find.
Mm-hmm. Kovacic sends up a 3. That one no, and a jump ball underneath. Stay with the Spartans, and a couple of substitutes coming in for La Follette. Elizabeth Duncan and N'Dey Cham checking in.
Now you got your 2 big body sophomores in there for the Lancers.
Tapped around, Kovacic grabs it and is able to fight through the traffic.
Smooth.
Scoring just looks so easy
it
for
really
Maya
does.
Kovacic. Riak inside, Riak through a triple team, doesn't matter.
How about the high point snatch there on that entry pass? What hands and strength.
Just an 8-point Spartans lead with 9:24 to go. Spartans send up the triple, and they bury it. Josie Itri, her first points coming off the bench. And suddenly it's an 11-point lead for the Spartans again. Fields, the hoop and the harm.
Love that aggression. What a great drive to move to the basket.
Pierikowski was the one called for the foul. Her first, the fourth team foul. We'll stay at a 9-point game after that miss, inside 9 minutes to go in the first half.
These Spartans are so technically sound. Ooh.
3 skips off. Spartans get their own rebound, though.
They got all 5 players can dribble and shoot.
Kovacic knocks it down.
Man.
Madison College timeout for Will Green and the Lancers, trailing by 12 here in the regional final. Madison College has been around for over 100 years right here in our community. They've grown to 7 campuses all across South Central Wisconsin, including 3 in Madison. Whether you're starting fresh or leveling up your career, Madison College is here for you. Learn more at madisoncollege.edu. That's madisoncollege.edu. 25-13 here in this first half. Last night, the Lancers were down by 12 to Kettle Moraine, but this feels a little different right now, Mertzy.
Yeah, you know, the one thing I will say, though, I was just doing the quick tally, 5 threes for Brookfield East early here. They're hitting from outside, and so it's definitely ballooning that lead a little bit. Can they stay up at that pace? Their shooting percentage all game, who knows? But you don't want to get in too big of a hole in a game like this if you're La Follette. That said, you're not going to crawl out of a 15, 20-point deficit against this program.
So if you're Will Green right now in the huddle for La Follette, are you saying like, hey, they're not going to keep hitting like that, or are you making an adjustment this early?
I think that you got to start closing out a little bit more. They've been caught in between a little bit. The thing that I like, I don't want to see Riak get out too far away from the hoop, but everyone else, I think you got to be playing pretty aggressive to your player. So look, exploit that matchup. Make sure got her on the worst 3-point shooter, and try to keep that inside for rebounding and just sort of a little bit of balance defensively.
Out of the timeout, Brookfield showing pressure, leading by 12. Lancers just going back and forth, send up the deep 3, and that misses everything.
Yeah, they're having a hard time visualizing where to penetrate or where to skip pass across this zone. Credit to Brookfield East. They're disguising that defense really well with the wing slipping out up top.
Brookfield looking to extend their lead of 12. You got a whistle away from the ball. Gisela Fields picking up her first foul. Just the 3rd team foul for La Follette. So not nearly the same foul trouble that they ran into last night in the first half. Ooh, nearly stolen away. That elbow jumper rattles in. Pierikowski up to 11 points.
11 points. Really impressive start.
That pass goes out, but is knocked out off of a Spartan hand, staying with La Follette.
You know, for as much of a size advantage as Riak has inside, it feels like they've done a really good job bracketing her in this zone, not giving clean looks to that entry pass.
And, you know, it's one of those where normally you would expect, with the way she gets doubled and triple teamed, that there'd be wide open shooters.
I know.
Brookfield's been able to close out.
You got a lot of quickness out there on the perimeter.
Cham underneath.
A really nice assist by Riak there. That's what you need, is some of that dribble penetration.
Brookfield will just take their time offensively. Another open three. That one doesn't go. Cham pulls in the board. Riak losing it out of bounds. She wasn't expecting the pass that time. Kovacic up top for the Spartans, setting up this offense with a 12-point lead, 6:17 to go. Another open three, and it's another buried three. Josie Itri with 2 threes. She's got 6 points on the night. A kick ball.
Yeah, you don't want to harp on it, but we were just talking about the closeouts, and there was kind of a weak follow defensively there when coming around the motion offense. Itri did not hesitate.
Riak draws a double team, tries to pass it off, and it was too far in front of her teammate.
Yeah, now you're getting the frustration zone here. The Follett's really got to pull it together here and keep their composure in this situation.
So with inside 6 minutes to go, if you're the Lancers, what is your goal if you're not going to tie the game or take the lead going into the locker room?
Stabilize and find some rhythm, especially offensively. If for as much as Brookfield East is lighting it up defensively, it's more the hesitation offensively.
Riak misses her second 3 attempt.
They just don't look like they have much of a plan of attack offensively. No one looks comfortable out there. Try to get that established and just get some flow moving offensively.
The Spartans with plenty of flow offensively as they lead 32-15. That pass knocked out of bounds. We stay with the Spartans.
Nice hustle by Duncan. I like to see that.
N'Dey Cham will check back in.
It's Riak's first break of the first half. 5 minutes left. Keep our eye on the differential here.
I would expect maybe only a couple of minutes. The fadeaway.
Yeah, wow.
Kovacic looking like Dirk down in the post with that fadeaway. Is that too dated of a reference already?
I mean, I'm old, so I'm dated.
Okay, so I'm playing to you, the audience.
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
A 19-point Brookfield East lead. 4:40 to go in the first half of this regional final. Another open three. That doesn't fall. A rebound for the Lancers.
What do you know? A miss from long range.
One of the very few the Spartans have had this first half.
Get in front of her, Day.
Oh, come on.
And the lob pass too high. Which is surprising for the 5'11" Madeline Jenkins.
Yeah, it just seemed like uncertainty there on both ends of where that ball was going and why it was going there. Yeah. Not a lot of chemistry on the offensive side at this point.
Which is a credit to this zone defense that Brookfield East loves to run.
It is.
They were begging Manti to fire up that three, and she does, and another miss from beyond the arc for Brookfield East.
Come high, Maddie.
Cham underneath, and it goes out off of her hands, so another turnover out of bounds for the Lancers.
Recency bias maybe, but we're seeing the last few times down a lot of like these soft arcing entry passes that aren't really to a point. They're kind of making someone run to a point. To see a little more intentionality on those. It seems like there's been some gaps that have opened up. They just haven't exploited it.
3:20 remaining in the first half. Brookfield with their largest lead of the night of 19. Attacking inside, through some contact, doesn't go. Cham fights for the rebound, finally pulls it in. The Lancers getting some stops on defense. Just need to figure things out offensively. Another lob inside, Cham over the double team. No, and a rebound for the Spartans. Kovacic on the perimeter. She's got 11 points. Pierakowski also with 11, and then a travel. So we've had multiple turnovers for the Spartans. Just the Lancers haven't been able to capitalize now, with Riak checking back in.
Yeah, you were talking before about what you want to see the half and looking for the quantitative at this point. I want to see it under double digits.
2:20 to go. Riak fouled on a 3 attempt. Kovacic in that one. Brookfield East not happy with that, but I don't know anybody that's okay with fouling on a 3-point attempt.
Exactly.
First is pure for Riak. She'll get 2 more. Second one, no. Stoughton Health has been providing trusted care close to home, and they're proud to support the student athletes from around the area. From rehab to ortho care, Stoughton Health provides comfort and convenience locally. Visit stoughtonhealth.com to learn more. And the third one doesn't fall for Riak. Closing in on 2 minutes left in the half. Spartans again, just taking their time offensively, as they have a 18-point lead. Corner 3, that one skips off. Kovacic gets the board and off the window. Kovacic up to 13 first half points.
It's a beautiful play. You love that little hesitation in the air, waiting to see if the defense was coming out and just put it off the glass.
The mid-range doesn't go for Riak.
I like that thought, though. Split the D, challenge him a little bit.
She is, again, she's capable of scoring at all 3 levels, so there isn't a shot that you can't get out and try and defend her on. Brookfield taking their time inside a minute to go, up by 20. And they're just gonna hold if Cham isn't gonna stand out there.
Right.
And now she does, to try and force that 5-second clock count. And we've got a timeout by the Spartans. We'll take a 30-second timeout with 39.5 seconds to go. The Spartans lead the Lancers 36-16 here on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania.
Bucky wants a Honda with lots of headroom.
Zimbrick, Fish Hatchery Road.
Something with room for all your friends, right?
These are the people who take good care of you.
It's gotta be red, of course.
Get to know Zimbrick, 'cause you deserve it.
Zimbrick Honda. Hundreds of options. Zero hassle.
Zimbrick, Fish Hatchery Road.
(36-16) at the timeout. Inside a minute left to go here in this regional final. And Mertzi, you know, I knew when Head coach Tyler Saxton talked to me this morning, and he said, our identity is our defense. I expected them to be good defensively. I didn't expect them to be this good defensively.
Yeah, they've really done a number on La Follette, a team, obviously, we've talked about, loves to get out and run, get in transition. They haven't had that many opportunities because Spartans are making every shot, especially from distance, but in that half-court set with the 1-2-2 that floats a little bit, they haven't even been able to get a clean entry pass in and just don't look comfortable.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the adjustments that the Lancers make at the half, down by 20 right now. The Spartans with the ball and 39.5 seconds left in the half, nearly stolen away by Quanbeck. Down to 30 seconds to go. And the Spartans trying to eat up clock, heading into the locker room, up by 20 right now.
You're looking for something here. You're looking for something to seize on if you're La Follette. Get a stop here.
Inside 10 seconds to go. Kovacic passes off for the three. That skips off. Fight for the board. The putback, no, and that's the half. 36-16 at the half. The Brookfield East Spartans leading the La Follette Lancers 36-16 as they head to the locker rooms in this regional final. At TPC Wisconsin in Madison, there's no off-season for your game. Get ready for next golf season. Join today and pay no dues until April 1st. That's right, no dues until April 1st. Learn more at tpcwisconsin.com. That's tpcwisconsin.com. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll look at the first half stats and look ahead to the second half here on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania.
At Hooper Service, your comfort is important. From keeping you cozy warm to comfy cool with the ultra-quiet, energy-efficient Carrier Infinity Home Comfort System. Plus, join our Home Comfort Priority Plan and keep your air conditioner and furnace running at peak performance year after year. Enjoy priority service and extra savings that really add up. Hooper is here with 24-hour heating, cooling, plumbing, and fire protection service for your home and business. Turn to the experts, Carrier and Hooper.
Wisconsin homes ask a lot of their windows and doors. They need to be ready for anything year-round. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, everything we do is built around quality and durability. You shouldn't have to make compromises to ensure you're comfortable at home. So right now, take advantage of 0% financing for up to 4 years. Learn how the right windows and doors can make a meaningful difference in your home's comfort, efficiency, and overall style. With Pella, you'll get expert recommendations designed around your home, your needs, and the way you live. From design to installation, Pella's local experts are there to guide you every step of the way, helping you choose the right options for your home, your style, and your budget. Thanks to 0% financing until 2030 and our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your decision long after installation day. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 2/28/2026.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
When you or a loved one are faced with an unexpected injury or illness, Stoughton Health's urgent care is there for you. Stoughton Health has 4 convenient urgent care locations for the care you need without the wait. We have urgent care locations in Stoughton, Oregon, McFarland, and Cottage Grove with extended hours to fit your schedule. Stoughton Health accepts over 160 insurances, including Dean Health Plan, Quartz, Humana, and more. Please visit stoughtonhealth.com for more information. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
For over a century, one family has helped generations move forward. Christofferson Moving and Storage. They've built a legacy of trust celebrating 120 years in 2026 with transparent, upfront pricing, highly trained professional crews, and flexible services designed around you. They protect your home and belongings with expert care and clear communication every step of the way. Let them handle the heavy lifting so you can focus on what's next. Christofferson Moving and Storage. Your best move since 1906. Get your complimentary quote at christoffersonmoving.com.
To 16 at the half. The Brookfield East Spartans lead the Madison La Follette Lancers here on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania. I'm Hunter Vaughn. Alongside me is Adam Mertz. And it is now time for us to get to know these two head coaches a little bit better, as it's time for our Midwest Financial Group coaches profile. The lineup at Midwest Financial Group consists of coaches for your financial world, organizing the players on your personal team. Behind every great team is a great coach. Let the Midwest Financial Group be yours for your financial planning needs. Head to mfgteam.com to get started today. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor. Mertzy, tell the fans who maybe didn't get to tune in to any of our other broadcasts a little bit more about head coach Will Green for the La Follette Lancers.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a guy who's made a big impression, not just on the court, but off the court in his 10th season over at La Follette. But off the court, he's the founder and executive director of Mentoring Positive, which is a program that a lot of people in Madison are familiar with, a referral-based mentoring program that works with kids over in the Worthington Park at Darbo area, individually and in groups. And he has a restaurant that produces salsa and pizza that is so locally.
Very good pizza.
You're going to vouch for that one.
Yes.
Yeah, at Willie Street Co-op you can find that, which is pretty awesome. And, big part, like we said, success on the court that he's had. Established a youth basketball program at La Follette 9 years ago. Everyone knows how important it is to have a feeder program. You're seeing that a little bit tonight, too, with development on both sides of the ball here. These kids get schooled well early, and it pays off later on. So awesome for him to have done that. Background on him in terms of education, he played basketball at UW Eau Claire in 90 and 91. Remember Ken Anderson, who he was a Badgers assistant and then had a lot of success up at UW Eau Claire. Native of Gary, Indiana.
And then for the head coach of the Brookfield East Spartans, Tyler Saxton, an alumni of Maryville, a very good basketball program. But tell the folks a little bit more about him.
Yeah, Tyler in his 8th year at Brookfield East, was boys coached at St. Anthony for 4 years, teaches AP research. And this was an interesting fact, I thought, because you start doing the math on this. His grandpa was a girls coach for 30 years.
Yeah.
So you're talking about someone who was probably in at the very early stages of girls basketball as an official high school sport. Pretty cool to have that kind of role model to learn after and be able to understand a little bit the differences in boys and girls basketball in terms of how you shape rosters, how you build rosters, how you build confidence in the young women. So pretty cool success story for him.
Yeah, Tyler and I were not too far off age-wise.
Okay.
And, when he said that, it got me thinking about my grandpa also had been a girls coach.
Oh.
And he had told me that back when it had started, they could only take like 3 steps, and then they had to pass it off. So you couldn't just dribble up and down the floor. The rules were a little bit different.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a very different game when girls and women's basketball first started. And then it's changed to being very similar to the boys and the men's game, just now played underneath the rim, unless it's N'Dey Cham on a fast break. For those that don't know, N'Dey Cham, the first girls player ever in the state of Wisconsin history to dunk in live action.
That's amazing. When you told me that stat, I was like, man, no one else has done it, because there's been some pretty talented and athletic players. You think about this state's history that have gone on to big schools, Dukes and Connecticut's and all this kind of good stuff. she's the first. That's a pretty good claim to fame.
It definitely is, and they're going to need more from Nyajuacni Riak because she's got 6 points, ties the Lancers with the team high with Madeline Jenkins with 6. On the other side, though, Brookfield East, they've got 13 points from Maya Kovacic. It was almost like she heard me, Mertzy. Early in the game, she only had 2 points. They were out to an 11-point lead, and I'm like, oh, wow, I'd expect her to have more points than that. And then she hit a couple of threes, got some rebounds, and suddenly got herself up to the game-high 13 points.
Impressive player. One of those kids when you look at her before the game starts, and not an overly imposing athletic build or anything like that. I noticed how much, what's the word, proprioception she has. Ability to understand where her body is at all times on the floor. She's able to spin off the dribble. She's doing fadeaway jumpers with a little hesitation up top. Just someone who knows this game really well inside and out.
Yeah, she was somebody that I knew had been in the kind of conversation around Miss Basketball this year, an award that you can only get if you're a senior, as well as the Conference Player of the Year. We expect that for her from this. We expect her to have a chance to win Conference Player of the Year. There's maybe a few other players that could get it, but I was fully expecting this Miss Basketball this year to kind of be a Natalie Cuso for Arrowhead award, and she'd run away with it. Seeing Maya Kovacic tonight, I could see a conversation that Brookfield East fans would have for her being Miss Basketball. So that's how good of a player she is.
Yeah, and you know, like those awards, there's definitely a career achievement aspect to it. I think that should be definitely considered, especially when you're limited to a senior only. You got to reflect what they've done the rest of her career, with her being an all-time leading scorer, 2 in assists, top 10 in rebounding all-time in program history. That speaks volumes to what she's done for this program over the number of years.
And by the way, Mertzy, I got a update from our video producer, Pablo Iglesias. Robin Pinchton, the head coach of the women's basketball team, in attendance again tonight.
Wow.
She was at the game last night.
2 straight nights.
La Follette, yes.
Okay.
Which honestly has been very smart. She's recruiting Nyajuacni Riak. You might as well make La Follette High School your second home for the next 2 years to try and get the 6'3" stars. She'll get the ball first to start for the Lancers. That one's short, and it's out off of Brookfield East.
Concerted effort, set play, get the ball in her hands, get settled, let her go to work under the basket.
When we saw even the first possession of the game for the Lancers, she drew a foul, got herself to the free throw line. So when she's underneath, she can really do damage other than just scoring for La Follette. That pass gets deflected out of bounds. Lancers trailing by 20. Riak going baseline. Riak through the contact.
It's a nice controlled play, though. You notice that there was contact there, but it was not an arm out. It was not a jump into. Just let her body do the work for her.
And just like the start of the game, Riak gets the first points of the second half. And then underneath, Riak with a block. Wow. She did that twice last night against the Lasers of Kettle Moraine.
It's one of those 99% of the time in high school basketball, that's going to be a hoop.
But when you've got the 6'3" Riak patrolling the paint, now she gets a rebound. Tried to start a fast break. Had to slow it down.
Oh, man. I was going to say that pass is there. That entry is there.
Riak under the back-to-back buckets for Riak. Lead down to 16. Field working that perimeter, staying patient. Pass nearly goes out of bounds. Spartans keep it alive.
Just string together a couple stops here. Give yourself a little hope early.
And another block for Riak. She keeps it alive into the bench. Spartans with it underneath, and they're able to lay that in.
What a tough break. That was another beautiful block. I noticed Riak shaking her arm a little bit as she comes down the court. A little stinger on that block.
Then Jenkins, that dribble just too high. Kovacic, open three, nothing but net.
Breaking hearts out here.
Largest lead of the night now, 21 for the Spartans. The pass knocked down. Lancers keep it, and now stolen away.
Just too loose with the ball.
Kovacic thought about the three, but then Riak was closing in.
Yeah, you don't want to take that one.
No, she learned her lesson the first time. The three rims out, Riak with the rebound. Riak fires up the triple, and it's good.
Did you hear it? Did she call that?
Oh, I just told you that she could hit it. She was going to pull up a couple of times.
Did she call the bank, though? Did she call the bank?
Oh, I don't care about that. That was just an impressive three. If it's right up at the line and you're banking it in, like whatever.
Oh,
there's a third block for
Riak in like 3 minutes. Wow, what defense. Oh, man.
A whistle, and we'll have possession for the Lancers. Oh, excuse me, they'll have a foul on Jenkins.
Ouch. That's a tough turn of events there. Yep. Kovacic with that incredible defensive positioning. Thought that was going to be a transition layup for sure.
Brookfield sending up another three. It's nothing but net for Shane.
Barely even touched net. Thing just dropped straight through. This team can shoot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Obviously a ton of games still left to play, but I just think about, either of these teams are going to be a problem for either Memorial or Wanakee in the next round.
Yeah.
Obviously, La Follette, being the co-champions of the Big Eight, already saw Memorial twice this year. But then there'll be a matchup nightmare. It's another three for Brookfield.
I mean, come on. I've got them for 9 for the game now. Is that right?
I only tally the total points. I'm just going to say it sounds right for you.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Turnover.
Seen a lot of long faces on the Lancers, and I know this is things haven't gone well. You got 13 minutes left, though. A lot of game left.
And with the scorers they do have, they're capable of coming back still.
I mean, I can only imagine how frustrating it is for a team that's used to getting out, running, scoring a lot.
Kovacic.
Look at the floater. Look at the floater.
18 now for Maya Kovacic. Averages just under 20 a game. Riak inside, hard pass to Cham. Off the window, can't get it to go.
That was there, and you love that. That's the benefit of having those two on the floor together, that kind of high-low action.
Kovacic backing out. 12-15 and counting. The 26-point lead. There's another three for the Spartans. That one too strong. Riak with the rebound, but she stepped out of bounds.
It's just one of those nights for the Lancers. Stuff is not going their direction.
They've just had a number of passes and moments where it's just they've been like an inch or two off.
Yep.
And in the regular season and even last night, those were the type of things that were going their way and they were able to run away with games, stay in games. But if everything feels like it's not going your way, it's hard to stay in a game when you're in a regional final like this.
It really is.
Riak gets a steal.
She's doing a lot of the work outside the scoring column.
There's a foul. Good Nature adds to the line. 11:35 to go in the game. We have our first foul of the half on Brookfield East. And the first is no good. Second for Good Nature is pure. Her first point of the night.
There you go.
Spartans by 25, 11:30 and counting to go.
Get a little more chase here on the perimeter, trying to keep Brookfield East moving.
Nearly stealing it away. Opens up a three. Doesn't fall. Spartans board. Fight for the ball. It'll be a jump ball.
Jump ball, there you go.
We'll stay with the Spartans. They'll fire up another three. Can't get it to go. Blocked away again.
There's N'Dey on the block, huh?
Yeah, there were multiple hands there.
Yeah.
So could have been any one of them. And a corner three goes down. Elizabeth Duncan, her first points of the night.
Nice bucket. Really good ball movement there, too. And notice they paid attention to spacing. Set up the shot nicely. One of their better offensive possessions of the evening.
Spartans work it on the outside. They have no problem eating up as much clock as possible now with 10 minutes to go. Riak stealing it away for the moment. It goes out, and it will go to the Lancers.
There you go. Nice anticipation there. Caught the Brookfield East player looking on that one, looking inside. She's got fast hands.
She does, and every time she's out up top and she gets a hand on a ball, I'm just hoping for a one-on-one fast break for her so we can try and see another dunk.
I saw some anticipation there in Hunter's
I was floating
face.
up. I was getting ready for it. Another corner three skips off. Cham the board. Cham off the window.
You're missing a little bit of this aggression and emotion early.
Follette came back from a 12-point deficit last night in the second half in their regional semifinal. Looking to do one better as they trailed by as many as 26 tonight.
Got to keep that intensity up here on the defensive end. Otherwise, it's going to be another 1 minute possession.
We've got a foul.
Tough one. Tough one.
Priscilla Fields second. So far, it's been a clean second half, and I say that knocking on wood, as we've only had 3 team fouls with 9:17 to go. We've got a Madison College timeout here on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania. For more than 50 years, Zimbrick Honda has provided the Madison area with quality Honda vehicles. The trusted staff of Zimbrick Honda's used car dealership will save you time and reduce your car buying stress by finding the vehicle that matches your style. If you're looking for a new or a used Honda, visit Zimbrick Honda just off the Beltline in Madison or online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda. Mertzy, while we have this timeout, again, regional final here tonight. The winner moves on to the sectional semifinals, or for those that maybe don't know, that'd be the equivalent to like the Sweet 16 for this tournament. The winner gets either Madison Memorial or Wanakee, a Wanakee team that has been to the sectional final a number of times. So things only get more difficult going forward. And that's the thing that I love about these basketball tournaments. It's every single week. It's just that next game, it gets even more difficult, even more higher stakes.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny you mentioned Sweet 16 because I think about the games that I usually like best in the NCAA tournament are those Thursday, Friday night games on that second weekend.
Yep.
It just seems like there's so many teams that are very equal at that point that are really going down to the wire. So I think this sets up for a classic matchup next week, Thursday.
And you know, I said it earlier. It's one of those where either one of these two teams, no matter what's going on up in Wanakee or over in Wanakee for us, for where you and I are typically in Madison, but over here from the Milwaukee area, either one of those two teams, they're going to have their hands full with whatever happens the last 9 minutes and comes out on top of this game.
Yeah, not often that you'll go against a player of Riak's caliber, and so that's a real threat. La Follette somehow pulls off the miracle, and Brookfield East is just so balanced. They've got 5 players that can move the ball around. They understand spacing. They've been awesome defensively tonight. I think even more so than the discipline offensively.
Let's be a charge on Cham. Cham's first.
Pierkowski felt that one.
Yeah, that knocked the wind out of her.
That was one thing I noticed in pregame. Sorry to interrupt. Just the size on N'Dey and N'Dey. I mean, they're not just tall.
Yep.
They have very developed bodies.
Yeah, they definitely look like college basketball players, and they're underclassmen in high school.
Yeah.
N'Dey Cham coming out to force Brookfield to do something.
Yeah, hey, she's got good feet. Get out there and get after it. I love it.
Long rebound pulled in for the Spartans.
Yeah.
Open three. That one skips off. Lancers get a stop.
Missed an open three. Feels unusual tonight.
Inside 8 minutes to go.
Okay, look to do something with it here, La Follette. Get that ball inside. Let's get some cuts.
Nearly had it stolen away. The floater can't go. Rebound for the Spartans. Quickly ahead. That one's knocked out of the hands. That'll be a foul. Elizabeth Duncan with her first foul. First free throw doesn't go down for Maria Pleener. And the second one doesn't fall for Pleener, and then it's a whistle and going to be a foul on Riak as she fought for the rebound. Kovacic fouled on the inbound and the shot. Going to the line to shoot two.
We haven't sneaked in the little tidbit about Kovacic tonight that she speaks 4 languages. Maybe now's the time. What can she do?
I know it took me a second when Coach Saxton said that. He was like, yeah, and Maya speaks like 4 languages or something. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're gonna say that and just act like that's a normal thing for a senior in high school to be able to do, but okay. Like, I'll just go with it, Coach, if that's what you're gonna tell me.
And basketball is not just one of them. Yeah. Like 4 other languages.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, basketball itself, to really play at the high level that Kovacic is able to, it is another language on its own.
Yeah.
And that is so incredibly impressive. especially for somebody like me who failed Spanish 1 in high school. My teacher didn't
True
even
confessions.
My teacher didn't even let me take the final because my grade was so bad that she was like, you could get a perfect score, it wouldn't matter. You wouldn't pass.
Wow.
My parents were real proud.
I can't even imagine. It's good to see that you learned from that failure and built yourself into the multi-talented professional you are today.
It still took me a couple of years and maybe getting kicked out of a certain university up in River Falls first, but eventually it happened. 53-31, Spartans lead. Riak gets the floater to fall, down to a 20-point lead with 6:45 to go.
You know, you've seen her more this year, Hunter. I got to think a lot of nights after that first move, it's clear sailing to the hoop. Here she took 3 bodies after that first move.
Yeah, it is usually for Riak, as we've got a Madison College timeout on the floor. Typically most nights, even in the Big 8, when she's playing a school like a Verona or a Val Phillips Memorial, 2 of the other top teams in the Big 8 conference, it is a one move. Maybe she's got to make a Euro step around somebody else that's cutting in there, but then she's got wide open room. So it was, you could see it was an adjustment for her even last night with Kettle Moraine. They were making a point of she had to get through 2-3 players every single possession, and then you're seeing it again here tonight.
Yeah.
That is, I think the next step for her is figuring out how to deal with that when she's a junior then next year. And if she's able to do that, I don't know how anybody can stop her. Because there's a certain point, I would imagine here, if you're another team trying to defend her, you can't just put 4 players around her.
Yeah.
Like, you're just going to get killed every night then.
Yeah.
Like 3 has to be the max. So if she can figure out a way to beat triple teams, there's nobody in the state that'll stop her.
I think I could say the same then for La Follette too in terms of team growth. Making yourself maybe a little more available for the ball as an option if she's getting held up in those situations. It seems like she's felt like she's had to continue in 1 versus 3 a lot of the times because it hasn't been that easy option to dish to.
Yeah, and you know, I even think about other schools from the Madison area. There's a foul on Elizabeth Duncan, her 3rd. But I think about when Verona had Taylor Shremlow, who's now playing for Iowa, getting significant minutes. So, you know, a great basketball player. Tegan Mulaney from McFarland also playing at Iowa, even though some would like to say that the Madison area maybe isn't great at basketball. Just would like to remind them of some of the high-level Division I players that are playing out there. Not going to name any names. Just as a Madison, someone living in the Madison area, I take that a little personally.
Yeah.
But those were the type of players who their coaches regularly talked about. You can't just sit there and watch great players.
No.
And that's a hard thing, and that's a growth spot for your teammates is like, hey, I've still got to be the best teammate I can be for this person for us to win.
Absolutely. You know, and complementary players need to contribute. They're not just there for looks.
Yep.
Or to touch and give back. You have to be a threat.
Riak got a slap on the arm of Pleamer. And she knew it right away.
Oh, that's
always
she did.
It's always one of my favorites when a player does something like that and they're like, yep, I they don't try and argue it. They're like, yeah, that was not a good choice. The first free throw is good.
Well, she has, 3 steals in this half? 3 blocks, excuse me, and 2 steals. So, you know, looking to do something at this point. Give your team a little bit of a spark. I get it.
Riak gets another rebound. Tried to pass it off to Cham. Cham underneath, off the window again.
Nice spin move.
N'Dey Cham just making a living, banking it off of the window.
Yeah. It's just smart basketball inside. You know, it'll be fun to see how those two develop playing with each other, maybe a little more next year.
Yeah.
And playing off of each other. See a lot of promise there.
Because both N'Dey Cham and Nyajuacni Riak, both sophomores.
Yeah.
Riak averaging 28 points, 12 boards a night this year. And then off of the bench, Cham averaging 11 points, 8 rebounds. So having a 6'3" player in Riak and then a 5'11" Cham. I genuinely, I don't know of another team in the Big 8 that can match up anywhere close to that size.
Yeah. You don't see that very often. And the athleticism on both of them, too.
Yeah.
I mean, these aren't two kids who are just big bodies. You're seeing spin moves. You're seeing nice dribbling.
And this Brookfield East team, I think one of the things, too, that's been giving La Follette so many issues, you look at their starting five, just running through it. Kovacic is 5'8", Will Green taking a Madison College timeout with 5:15 to go. We're going to keep it right here. Brookfield East leading 56-35. But again, Brookfield East starting five. Kovacic is 5'8". You've got Plemer at 5'10", Manti at 5'10", Pierakowski's 5'11", Shane 5'9".
Yeah.
You can bring Farley off of the bench, who's listed at 6'1". This team is just almost the perfect matchup to try and defend a team like Madison La Follette. So really, I think so much of this, Brookfield East, a great team. Madison La Follette, a very good team. You don't win the Big 8 conference if you aren't a good team. But this was just the perfect matchup for Brookfield East.
Yeah, and you saw that a little bit last night with Kettle Moraine with the lack of height. And an inability to defend after a while. At a certain point, the dam's going to break. And tonight, it's just been very consistent defense. And those players, they're not wide bodies for Brookfield East. They don't match up that way, but their positioning is so strong, and they're willing to throw themselves in front of both of those players, which is something to be said too, because they know that's not going to feel very good.
Yep, they're going to be hitting the ice bath after this game with the way that they've been throwing themselves around there. But, I think about this defense for Brookfield East again. I would expect N'Dey Cham to be able to win and advance against Memorial, but just the way that this Brookfield East team plays defense, it is going to be a grinder of a game. Tessa Bryant, the top player for N'Dey, is going to have an incredibly difficult time if that's the matchup that they get in that sectional semifinal. And I'm going to be so intrigued to see that game, which is also a little tease. That's probably the game that we will be covering next week.
I like
Thursday.
it. Sell it. Just getting into what you're talking about, the defensive play tonight. I had to look this up because we know that La Follette scores a lot of points typically. 51 is their season low. They're sitting at 35 with 5 minutes left in this game. They were only in the 50s, 3 times other than that. There's
a steal and the easy lay-in. Avery Manti, 6 second-half points. She was scoreless in the first half. Riak underneath. Nyajuacni Riak, if she gets one-on-one, it's just too easy. 11 second-half points for her. By the way, want to just give a little bit of more respect to Vel Phillips Memorial. The score at the half of the other regional final going on. There's going to be an over and back. Wow. The Vel Phillips Memorial Spartans 26, N'Dey Warriors 18 at the half for that one. Which is, one of the things the Dean, Dennis Summerow, and I talk about a ton on our PrepMania Weekly show, and if you've ever listened to any of our broadcasts, was the fact that the Madison area schools really got hit hard when it came to COVID and athletics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they had to shut down. The city of Madison was more restrictive than Dane County was.
Yep.
So those youth programs and the schools themselves really took a hit. The fact that La Follette is back to where we expect them to be, and now Vel Phillips Memorial on the girls' side is such a huge and awesome thing for these two teams to be playing in the second weekend. Beyond just the Middletons, the Veronas, the N'Deys, having city schools be good at sports again is so great for the Madison area.
Absolutely, that's really important. And you look more broadly at what that district has done, investing in its schools through the referendums. There's some good momentum going for the Madison City schools at this point.
There's a foul away from the basket. Just taking a check. Memorial's still leading, but it is 43-41 with 7 minutes to go in that game in Nyajuacni.
A battle.
Kovacic's first free throw is pure. She's up to 23 points now. And the second is good.
You know, Hunter, nice turnout tonight. Pretty decent crowd here for a Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday
Brookfield
night.
East, snow going on.
There was a huge dance competition here.
Yeah.
Before we were told by Brookfield East, we're like, we can't let you in the gym until 5:45. Riak skying for the pass. But yeah, the Brookfield East community coming out and showing their support for this great girls basketball team that, you know, leading 60-39 inside 3 minutes to go. Looks like they'll be going back to the sectional round. Another foul. So the nice thing too for these Brookfield fans, you know, thinking about Brookfield advancing and then they're taking on either Nyajuacni or Madison Memorial next week on Thursday. That'll be a neutral site game.
Yes.
So thinking, I would guess probably something like a Watertown. Maybe they have somebody over here like an Arrowhead.
Yeah, Conomowoc got a pretty nice field house. Sun Prairie is probably a little too far. That going the Madison way.
But I mean, we saw the football side. Arrowhead played Nyajuacni in a state semifinal at Madison Memorial High School.
Yeah.
So
sometimes
they will do that. So it will be interesting to see where those neutral sites get put, because this was one of the first years they didn't announce the sites for sectional in advance because they wanted to wait. That three rattling out. Cham gets the board. Cham off of the window again. No. Got her own rebound and draws a foul.
I love the intensity here. 2 minutes left. Season's going to be over. Not giving up.
Yep. Pierikowski's second foul. First one can't get over the rim from Cham. Cham will get one more with 2:16 to go. And she adjusts and that one falls through. She's up to 7 points tonight, trailing by 20, 2:15 and counting to go.
Brookfield East got all 5 starters in yet.
Yeah, that I'm a little bit surprised about with 2 minutes left here.
Yeah.
And they've got a few days off, so Riak didn't get.
Did you get a piece?
I'm going to let you be the official scorer on that if we give her her 4th block. The reverse can't go. And they'll say it'll be Spartans ball with 1:45 to go. Another update for those of you curious. Madison Memorial currently leading 48-41 with 5:13 and counting left in that game against the 2-seed Nyajuacni. Is again the winner of this one, which with 1:40, will be Brookfield East. They'll be taking on the winner of that Nyajuacni and Memorial game. Spartans send up a corner 3. And that goes off and out. Another 3, no, but Kovacic gets another rebound. Kovacic sends up another one, rims out. Whistle, and it'll be a jump ball. Lancers trailing by 20 with just over a minute left. There's another 3, no, and a whistle underneath in a fight for the rebound. N'Dey Cham, her second. Kate Wells will head to the free throw line.
Hunter, what do you think about what La Follette should be thinking about here as they close out their season? You got a Big 8 championship, which hasn't come since what? They think 1986?
Yep.
It's amazing. Like, it's easy to forget about that now when you're down 20 in this game, but what an impressive season.
I mean, it was, again, I mentioned it here in the second half. I think the way that a lot of the Madison City sports get talked about at times, the fact that La Follette, and now we're seeing Memorial in this great game, the fact that they are back to playing important and significant basketball at this point of the year, I think is so important and such a big deal. This is the type of team that you could look back on for this La Follette program and say, this is the one that started this avalanche of great La Follette basketball.
Yeah.
This is the type of team that you're going to see the little kids who are going to these games during the year be saying like, oh yeah, I remember going to see Nyajuacni Riak play and N'Dey Cham, and now they're playing in the WNBA. Like, that's the kind of stuff that really is what, I think it'll take some time, but eventually they're going to look back on as being the real success of this year.
That's important. That's a great thing to walk away from. You got 5 out of your 7 top performers, coming back, graduating the 2 seniors. So, hey, hang your head and make this one hurt for a little while and think about what's going to take to get you ahead of this Brookfield East team next year.
Absolutely. The final score is 61-46. The Spartans defend their home court, and they will set up a matchup against either Madison Memorial or Nyajuacni in the sectional semifinal. Again, 61-46, the final score here this evening. There's still 4 minutes left to go, Mertzy, in this Nyajuacni and Madison Memorial game. Memorial still up by 7, 48-41. And, this game would be, again, this game, I know it hurts for the La Follette fans, the coaches, but like you were saying, like, you let this one sting for the next couple of days, and then this is what you use as the motivation when you're doing the sprints in the gym in July on your contact days, and you use this to be like, okay, we saw what a team that is capable of winning a regional championship is like. This Brookfield East team, I think they're more than capable of not just winning a regional championship, but potentially even getting to a sectional championship with the players that they have. So sometimes it's that NBA adage. You got to lose one before you can win one.
Yeah.
I think La Follette needed to get through a regional semifinal game, win a game in the tournament, see what a regional final is like, and now with the young players that they have, they know what it takes and the quality of basketball they have to be able to play to be able to make it further in this tournament.
Yeah, and we talked about it a lot on the broadcast, just about not in terms of scoring, but in terms of skill set. A lot of these Brookfield East players are interchangeable.
Mm-hmm.
They're able to dribble outside. They're able to pass well, crisply, cleanly. They run offensive sets where they really have a good understanding of where everyone's going to be at. And I think if you're going to look at yourselves as La Follette and give yourself a hard look in the mirror and say, we've got a lot of really good pieces here, I think that's one of the things you have to look at in some of these other players that are outside of N'Dey and of Naya, and say, where can I contribute? Where can I pick up my game to be a little more reliable, to be a little bit more of a threat, and to be a little bit more consistent?
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you can ramp up your game a little bit, you're not going to have to be a threat. In fact, you're not expecting you to. We want the ball in their hands, those 2 hands, almost every possession. But look at yourself and say, I think that I can be part of the solution of getting us over the top, and don't just expect those 2 to kind of carry you based on their star power.
Yeah, and I see a ton of potential out of this La Follette team, and a ton even from this Brookfield East squad too. They're going to be, I have a feeling they would be the favorite against whoever comes out of this Memorial and Nyajuacni. And then the issue is you just run into that unstoppable force that is Arrowhead that we've seen the last few years in this sectional.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got Natalie Cuso, the leading favorite to be Miss Basketball this year, playing for them. It's a tough task, but, I mean, defensively, this team is good enough to be able to at least be I don't want to disrespect them, but, like, be competitive with that quality of a team and that quality of a player.
Yeah, and you look at tonight against a player who's physically dominant, and I missed their final foul counts, but no one got into foul trouble against her.
They had 3 players with 2 fouls.
I mean, this is a team that's pretty disciplined defensively, put themselves in the right position, and weren't afraid of contact at the same time. So you're right. This is a team that can cause some trouble for people no matter your skill level.
Absolutely. 61-46 the final score. The Brookfield East Spartans winning the regional championship and advancing to the sectional round. We'll take a short break. When we come back, Adam Mertz has to name his Pizza Hut player of the game, and we'll wrap things up next on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania.
When you or a loved one are faced with an unexpected injury or illness, Stoughton Health's urgent care is there for you. Stoughton Health has 4 convenient urgent care locations for the care you need without the wait. We have urgent care locations in Stoughton, Oregon, McFarland, and Cottage Grove with extended hours to fit your schedule. Stoughton Health accepts over 160 insurances, including Dean Health Plan, Quartz, Humana, and more. Please visit stoughtonhealth.com for more information. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
At Hooper Service, your comfort is important. From keeping you cozy warm to comfy cool with the ultra-quiet, energy-efficient Carrier Infinity Home Comfort System. Plus, join our Home Comfort Priority Plan and keep your air conditioner and furnace running at peak performance year after year. Enjoy priority service and extra savings that really add up. Hooper is here with 24-hour heating, cooling, plumbing, and fire protection service for your home and business. Turn to the experts, Carrier and Hooper.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Wisconsin homes ask a lot of their windows and doors. They need to be ready for anything year-round. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, everything we do is built around quality and durability. You shouldn't have to make compromises to ensure you're comfortable at home. So right now, take advantage of 0% financing for up to 4 years. Learn how the right windows and doors can make a meaningful difference in your home's comfort, efficiency, and overall style. With Pella, you'll get expert recommendations designed around your home, your needs, and the way you live. From design to installation, Pella's local experts are there to guide you every step of the way, helping you choose the right options for your home, your style, and your budget. Thanks to 0% financing until 2030 and our 10-year limited warranty, you can feel confident in your decision long after installation day. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 2/28/2026.
Pizza Hut's Big New Yorker Pizza is back. For just $10 for a limited time, get an extra large pizza with 6 huge slices so big you have to fold them. Loaded up with your favorite toppings, like the classic and crispy pepperoni. It's the perfect way to feed the crew with giant slices and one legendary vibe. Big size, big value, just $10. Head to one of their locations. Order now on the Pizza Hut app or online at pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut. Feed good times.
The final score here from Brookfield East High School as the Spartans take down the La Follette Lancers here on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania. I'm Hunter Vaughn. Alongside me is Adam Mertz as the Spartans celebrating their regional championship, advancing to the sectional semifinal round, where they'll play the winner of either Madison Memorial or N'Dey Cham. That game with 94 seconds left, and Madison Memorial leading 48-42, but they've got Avery Blue at the free throw line for Memorial. I'm going to try and not break any copyright rules and give play-by-play, but this might have just been pushed back to a 7-point lead, hypothetically speaking.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not saying exactly what happened.
If she made that.
Yeah.
If
it was maybe nothing but net from the free throw line, that's what the score would be then. And she might be shooting another one to potentially make it an 8-point lead, which it is with 90 seconds left. But Mertzi, we've got to name our Pizza Hut player of the game now.
This is the Hut, and no one outperformed this player tonight. The player of the game is presented by Pizza Hut, the official pizza of PrepMania. No one outpizzas the Hut.
Mertzi, I feel like it was a pretty easy decision on who the player of the game was tonight.
You know, you come in looking for someone else to name in a game like this, but there was no other way that you could go with someone else other than Maya Kovacic. Just a really solid all-around performance by your senior guard, who's your program's all-time leading scorer, top 10 in rebounds, assists, kind of a do-everything out there. You posit her as a Miss Basketball candidate, and from what I saw tonight, I can't argue with that. 24 points.
Yep.
Solid court leadership. Her ability to understand passing lanes, her ability to understand where and when to take her shot is really impressive. Just a smart player.
Yeah, our Pizza Hut player of the game, Maya Kovacic of the Brookfield East Spartans, with her 24 points, leading the Spartans to a regional championship. Pizza Hut's Big New Yorker pizza is just $10 for a limited time. An extra large pizza with 6 huge foldable slices and bold New York style flavor. Big size, big value, just $10. Order on the Pizza Hut app or at pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut, the official pizza of PrepMania. Trying to stay on the air here as long as we can to let any fans of Brookfield East know who they would be playing here in the sectional semifinal. Is again, Brookfield East will play the winner of Vel Phillips Memorial or N'Dey Cham, and Vel Phillips Memorial up by 8 points currently on the 2-seed N'Dey Cham Warriors, which again, just Mertzi, goes back to my point of Madison City basketball, you know, maybe not as bad as some other people might say that it is, as they're beating one of the best teams in the entire state, a team that was number 1 for the majority of the year in our ESPN Madison Pizza Hut power rankings, and you've got a Big 8, a city school, up on the road at N'Dey Cham against Tessa Bryan, who's only a junior but probably the front runner next year for Miss Basketball in the state, and you're leading on the road, and now up by 9 on the road inside 52 seconds left to go in that game.
And that's the team that shared this Big 8 championship with your La Follette Lancers that you saw out there tonight. So as you said late in the game, which I thought was a really good point, just about what turned out to be the difficulty of this matchup for La Follette was that size, that consistent size on Brookfield East, be able to start all 5 players, 5'8", 5'9", and above. This is impressive. This would be quite a win, and something that I know La Follette's not going to take immediate pride in this, but your Big 8 rival goes out and beats N'Dey Cham. That says something about you too.
Yes, it absolutely does. I've been pounding the drum for the last few years since I really started covering and paying attention to Madison area basketball that part of the state is more than just the Veronas, the N'Dey Chams, the Sun Prairies, as we saw last year, Chris Davis Jr. on the boys' side,
right,
and all the great things there. There is some incredibly good talent in the city of Madison that, again, it just really was impacted by COVID. So I think people have forgotten what, you know, even on the boys' side, Vel Phillips Memorial had been under Steve Collins. 2017, they were at state.
Yeah.
And then COVID really took a hit last year. They were in the regional final, lost to Sun Prairie East. So Madison City basketball, I think the moral of the story, we're seeing it this year, it is back.
Yeah, and you think about La Follette, we talked about this as well. You've got 2 standout post players who are sophomores. You got 2 years of growth left for them, and hopefully development of those accessory pieces that can help you. And you think back and you look at this game. Let's talk about this one specifically. They fall into a 14-3 hole out of the gates. And what's the worst thing that you can have happen for a team that relies on its young core talent against a team that's disciplined with a lot of experienced players is to fall into that kind of hole on the road. It was almost good night from there. Tried a couple of times to nibble back within 8 and on one occasion, but really just could never overcome that early start, the hot start by Pierkowski from the perimeter, and just looked discombobulated early and could never get on track. And that's what happens when you're young. So, hey, take it as a learning experience.
Absolutely. And I saw, as we're paying attention to the video stream of the Nyajuacni broadcast for this other regional final game, again, the winner of this game going on to play the sectional semifinal against Brookfield East, and they had a shot of some of the seniors crying on the sideline as the clock runs out, and the Vel Phillips Memorial students that made the trip up to Nyajuacni storm the court. They win by 11 at Nyajuacni to take down one of the best teams in the state. So Brookfield East will be playing Vel Phillips Memorial next week, Thursday night. The 7 seed upsetting the 2 seed Nyajuacni Warriors. That'll be a neutral site game Thursday night, but Vel Phillips Memorial taking down Nyajuacni. That was a huge win for city basketball in Madison.
Yeah, absolutely. Enjoy every bit of that, Spartans. Really impressive, and this will be quite a tussle for them next Thursday. It gives them something to look forward to and play for. And I know you mentioned Arrowhead sitting on the other side of the bracket, but who doesn't want a shot at Arrowhead? If you're a competitor,
absolutely,
you want to see how you measure up.
Absolutely, you do. And I'm the one that makes the decisions for who we're covering. Next week, our coverage that we know of so far, we're going to be taking that Madison Memorial and Brookfield East game. That'll be Thursday night here on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel for sure. Need to double check if we'll be on the radio or the ESPN Wisconsin app, but for sure you can get us here on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. And then on Friday for the boys regional, as the boys tournament starts next week, we will have Madison West at Oregon, an 11-6 matchup for the Friday night game. The winner of that most likely taking on the 3 seed Verona. So that'll be our coverage then next week. Is again, ESPN Madison will take all of the rounds of the playoffs. We're going to have all 15 state games from the Kohl Center on the ESPN Wisconsin app and the audio here on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. So if you want postseason basketball, we're the place to be. Mertzy, thank you for making the drive over here to Brookfield with Pablo and I. We appreciate you doing that on your Saturday.
Hey, not only did you deliver beautiful play-by-play commentary, but you delivered Pablo and I here safely in this snowstorm that's going on a day after 60 degrees. Welcome to Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin. It's a beautiful state, and I'm glad my nerves didn't show as much as I was feeling them on the drive. So we'll head back to Madison for our video producer Pablo Iglesias. For Adam Mertz, thank you for tuning in tonight. I'm Hunter Vaughn, and this has been Zimbrick Honda's presentation of PrepMania.